Well, the last month has been a very busy month, and I've been doing some work outside of my own garden and neglected my own garden a little bit, but I'll be catching up on that. I'm going to be doing some work in the front garden because the wildflowers have now died off and seeded, and so I'm going to cut those down, shred them into the ground, spread the seeds, tidy it and replant for the summer, which will be fun. Now towards the end of June, Julie and I celebrated 39 years of our marriage, and on that day we decided to pop up to London, and we saw a little pop group on that day, and I must say the Rolling Stones are as brilliant as they ever were, and probably better than I thought they were. They were absolutely superb, and we really enjoyed our day. Now, in today's show, we're going to be in the front garden. We're going to be doing a bit of tidying in the back garden, and we're going to just have a look and see how the potatoes are doing. We'll just dig maybe one of the plants to see how progressed they are, because we're about 10-11 weeks now from when we first planted, and normally I say 12 weeks to have your potatoes ready. So we'll dig up a plant, we'll have a little look, and we'll see how it goes from there. So quite a few things to go through in today's show. So welcome to July in a year gardening. Well, welcome back to the front garden, and the lovely daisies and wildflowers have finished now, so I'm just tidying those out of here, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually mow these up, which will release any of the seeds, and we're going to plant some new plants into the borders. It's a bit hard work, but it's going to make it look absolutely beautiful. So as I continue cutting this down, I'll get all this done, and then we'll cut it down with a mower, tidy it all up, then I'll show you what I'm planting in here, and I think it's going to look really nice. Well, by mowing all of those seed heads into the lawn and up into the lawnmower, I've dispersed a load of seeds, and they will come back through next year. So now what I've got to do is I've got to tidy these borders here, clean the edges up, and make them ready for planting for a nice summer display. We're going to have some sunflowers and some geraniums, and yeah, nice pretty colours. Happy days. Going to enjoy just finishing tidying the weeds out of here, and then the roots of these wild plants we'll take out, make it into a nice border again, and replant it. That's my next job. Well, when I first planted these wildflower seeds, I only needed a couple of inches of soil on the top for them to root. Now I'm putting in plants that have been grown in pots. I need 6 to 8 inches. This ground is solid. It's had 70 years of compaction, and it's clay, and it won't dig. So I've got my pickaxe, and that's how I'm going to be lifting the top of this. So let's do a bit of that. and we just come down gently into the ground and take out a good lump of the root. Keep coming along here, and this will lift quite nicely. I'll move that now into a pile where it can compost down. Well, that's the border generally cleared. I've been bitten to death by ants, which is lovely. I've got to get this a little bit deeper, and I'll go in there with a pickaxe to do that, and then work in some compost from the compost heap, improve the soil before we start planting the plants. It's going to be worth it in the end, always is. Well, when I originally planted up these borders with the wildflowers, I dug in a load of compost, but that's all been eaten up over the past 2 years, and in order to create the hole here to put this first plant in, I've had to use a pickaxe in the ground. It's absolutely solid. So I've made myself a mud pie mixture in the bottom here, oversized the hole, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some root compound, sprinkle this in the ground, give the plant a good chance to get going. Then I'm going to sprinkle just a little more compost over the top of that. And this is where I'm going to put the first of the sunflowers. So I'm going to be putting 2 sunflowers in this bed and 2 in the bed over the back once I've dug that out. And all I'm just going to do is pop it out of the pot. Lots of root on here. And then I'm just going to bring some of this back in around the side just to hold it in place. And once I've got that nicely down into this mud pie mixture underneath, I'm then going to bring some more compost around the edge. Give the roots a chance of establishing themselves outwards as well as downwards, which will make the plant much stronger in the ground. Push that down nicely, and the plant down nicely as well, and then we're just bringing a bit of soil back over the top, and the loose soil that is not required I will move on and use in another area. So that's the first of the sunflowers in. I'll get another one put in here and then start clearing the roots out from this area, and we're just going to start making this look rather lovely. Now in the front border I've got some geraniums to go, and they'll add some nice bright colour as well. Now obviously the sunflowers are going to grow a little bit tall, so I am going to put some stakes in here as well in order to be able to tie them as they grow. And they'll probably come up to around about 1.5 metres to 2 metres, which would be rather nice. Well, I've given these little borders a nice drink, got them in. Day well spent, I think. So looking rather magnificent at the moment, and I'm sure they're going to improve over the course of the year. Now it's time to go into the back garden and do a bit of tidying of the perennials. Well, I'm back in the back garden, and a lot of the perennials that are early flowering have finished now, so things like the geums and the lupins. So I'm going to harvest the seeds from the lupins, and I'm just going to cut the geums back to allow them to grow. The seed heads have basically finished, and it's time just to spruce up the centre of the garden. So I'm going to get on with that now. Well, some of these lupins have already started shedding their seeds, so I know they're ready to collect, and I'm going to cut them down and keep them and dry them out in a paper bag. This will have a couple of positives here, because it will allow other plants to get more light, and then to give me more different colour. So I'll take all of these out of here. And what a wonderful display they gave us this year. I was so pleased with it. I'm sure that some of these are naturally going to seed themselves. Let's take some of this GM down. Pop that over the back there. Not only will this tidy the garden up, but it will allow other plants more room to grow. We take some of this right back. And these GMs, which were held up, they've now finished. So we can clear those. Then I can take out this supporting canes and I can tidy up the edge of the grass, which really needs doing as well. So we can take this out now. It's going to allow me better access here, and we can also get some of these weeds removed, which were difficult to access before. Now they come out nice and easily. I'll get in here with the hoe. We'll take out some more loop in here. Oh, they gave me such a wonderful display this year. I was so impressed with them. And I might even get some different coloured ones next year, you never know. Take this right down. This mainly it's to let light through to the other plants that are now struggling to grow. So also it does allow me to harvest the seeds. Take some more of this off of here. Wonderful. Get that out of there. Boom. And already I can see other flowers coming through underneath. So I'm going to finish this job off. And then once we've finished this, I think it's time to pop down to the vegetable garden and see how those potatoes are doing. Well, on Good Friday, I planted these salad potatoes, and we're, what's that, 10, 11 weeks on from there now, and I want to see how they're growing. The only way I can see that is actually by lifting one of the plants. So I'm going to take one from the end here. It does look a little bit early for it, but these will be a small potato, and I just want to see. So I'm going to go in here, just lift this one plant, and we'll see what we've got. Well, time for salad, I think. And I'll put the spade through here, I mean the fork through here a little bit more, and dig out more, but there's nothing better than new potatoes. So just as a first glance, there's a few nice new potatoes. I've got a feeling these are going to go straight in the pot now. Whilst I'm down this end of the garden, I thought I'd just sit down and spend a couple of minutes here. So the calm peace garden is really taking shape. We've got these little mirror balls in there now as well, and I've got the sand and cement ready to tidy up the edge, and that will all be done by the time I get to the middle of the month. In fact, I'll probably show you it in the middle of the month show. So yeah, very peaceful. Well, I think it's about time I went and summed up the bits and pieces we've been through today. Well, I just want to bring you up to date with what we've been doing at the station house in Tunbridge and the improvements to the garden. Well, we've got the furniture painted and we've started on some of the fences. We've got the artificial grass down, and basically what we've got to do now is finish off the fencing, get some pallets finished cutting and painted to go by the grass to hold some pots, and it's going to look great. Well, that brings me to the end of this little show, and I must say, little show, it seems to be on camera, but it's taken a hell of a long time to do it. The work in the front garden took quite a few days and was very, very hard work. However, thoroughly enjoy the end result. Think it looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm sure those plants are going to grow and flourish in the ground. I've put in some rooting compound underneath the plants, and they've been watered well, and over the next few days they will then get fed and will encourage to grow. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they come on, and I'll show you that in future shows. Now, the potatoes that I dug up, now as I said, they're the variety called Charlotte. They're a salad potato. All you have to do is run them under the tap, boil them up, and well, here's one of those potatoes that I dug up earlier on. I'll tell you what, now that is a good potato. Little bit of mint out of the garden, maybe, yeah, a little bit of butter might go nice, but I'm not going to complain with that one. Such beautiful flavour. You could only get that with a potato that's just come out of the ground. That is superb. Sorry, excuse me. That's good. Now I should be finishing the garden down the pub over the next few days, and we'll get some more pictures of that when it's finished. Got some nice pots to go in the area that I'm building with the pallets. That's going to be a little stand to take some nice pots with some flowers in as well, and I'm sure it's going to look absolutely fantastic. Centre of the garden's come on very, very well, and I've got those lupin seeds, and we're going to save those, plant those out in a few months' time in the greenhouse, and bring those on for some new plants next year. So happy, happy days on that. The general aspect of the garden is coming on, and I don't really have to do too much. I've got to keep on top of the weeding, keep it tidy, but the general hard landscaping and the layout of the garden, I think, is now complete. As I showed you the little piece stroke Zen garden, that's looking absolutely beautiful. I've got another bag of stones for when the stones that are there start to settle down, and I can just top that over. So we're all in place on that. Got the sand and cement, get that edged off nicely, and the whole thing is going to really come together beautifully, and we can run the stream and just sit there for a nice, quiet, relaxing evening. So as summer is with us, I'm really looking forward to just spending some time sitting in the garden, but there's still a lot of jobs to do. But that's just about it from me. As I say, we had a lovely trip up to London and saw the Rolling Stones, and we're going to make ourselves a little video of that. We can't, obviously, for copyright reasons, share that with you, but I'm going to make a little video as a memory for ourselves, and I think that's only something really, really special in the years to come. Well, that's it from me. I'm going to leave you with just those few words. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and happy gardening. I have a small glass of Cabernet Sauvignon which I can toast your good health with. Cheers.